It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What it do? What it do? Welcome to another episode of Let's Bet It. Um, had a few plays on X last night. Um, took the Mercury. I think that was the only one. Um, the Mercury that was a bad one. I took them -6.5, and they just got beat down. Dallas just they're going to be a good team, I think, once they get rid of Enrique. I think she's going to be the one holding them back. They look really good. So my Mercury play last night didn't cash, but I did take the Storm. I took the Storm game under. Took the Storm game under. That cash for her. So got a couple of looks tonight in the slate, so we'll go through those, take some comments. I love to see what you guys are playing tonight. It's kind of a tricky slate, so like I said, I got a couple of plays. One of the lines is moved, so let's hit a few comments before we get started. Can't stop tuning in. Can't Stop got like a engine job that's gonna take him like 2 weeks. He said it's date night with Jackie tonight, or it's date night with Jackie. Let's go. If you guys been tuning into the show enough, you should know what date night with Jackie means when Can't Stop says it. So let's get into this game. Actually, the Aces at the Fever. The Fever are getting two at home. Total is sitting at 164.5. Obviously, no Caitlin Clark. I don't think I've said this, and like I said, people thought I was crazy. I wouldn't be surprised. I was saying the season, but a report did come out through the Indy Star, basically saying that she didn't suffer any new injuries. So that's a plus. But they're also saying that they're monitoring and really, investing in her long-term health. It just would not shock me if we didn't see her for at least a month. I mean, they're sitting here telling us to our face they're prioritizing her long-term health. So, as far as these lines and stuff like going into these games, I just think at this point you have to assume that Caitlin's not going to play. But I guess the book seem to think that this is a day-to-day thing, like the Fever are saying. They're saying it's day-to-day, but it's really not. This is more like a week-to-week thing, if you ask me. But the total sits at 164.5. But yep, Caitlin is out. The Aces seem to be. They actually got some Cheyenne Tyus news just now. If they're able to make the playoffs, she would be available. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, this game, I really like the under. I know that the Aces are making a push, and the Fever are trying to play a little bit faster. But I just feel like this is an under spot in this game of 164.5. Just looking over at the money baller, and I went Aces Fever, and I'm going to share my screen in a second when it all loads up here. But when the Aces are on the road, it just kind of seems like their offense dies, but their defense picks up. So I'm gonna share my screen here. So I for this I just kind of put the home and away splits regular season. If you look at the effective field goal percentage, right? Aces are dead last on the road, Fever number 3 at home. But effective field goal percentage allowed, the Aces are actually third. Now, To put it in perspective, let's go to home. Or no, let's go to full season and see what their effective field goal percentage is allowed. So on the road, they're third, but then they slip all the way to ninth overall for the full season. We couldn't do the home split for the Aces because they're not, they're on the road for this one. Shout out to Moneyballer. This tool is amazing. But they go from third on the road to ninth over the full season, which tells me, progressively they're worse at home on defense. So that was one thing that kind of led me to the over. Let's go back to the home and away splits. Another thing about Vegas on the road, and we'll scroll back down. There we go. Over under. They are 10-2 to the first half under. 5-2 as away favorites, and this is on the road. So 10-2. So out of the 12 games they've played on the road, 10 of them have went under the first half under. The Fever 7-6 to the under in the first half. So that just tells me that both teams are going to start slow. And then if you look at the team total records overall, Aces 9-3 to their under overall. And the Fever, once they start slow, but it looks like they pick it up. So I feel like this is kind of telling me that this is going to be an Aces team total under. This is what I have not played this yet. I probably will get there with this. It's a strong chance I may bet this before I get off the show. I really like the Aces first half team total under. And also, the Fever have had to play the Liberty twice. The Liberty, obviously are a potent offense. They got Jonquel Jones back. They had a full roster their previous game. So I just feel like the Fever are really going to focus on the defensive end. They know that they're not going to have Caitlin for a while, and their identity is going to have to start on defense. And I think it starts here tonight. Nothing against the Aces. I think they're they're champs. They got a championship pedigree, but I just feel like the Fever are at least going to bring the defense. Give me 1 second while I check that team total. I don't know, man. I like them to go under 82.5 points. Let's scroll back up to Moneyballer just a little bit, see what the Aces do on the road scoring wise. So 11 road games, they've averaged 76 points per game. And I feel like historically a lot of these games go over, or in Indiana, they go under. So the last one in Indiana went under. Vegas went. Okay, Indiana, another under. I just feel like under in this one, but yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Player prop wise, I don't really have a ton of thoughts. I think Aaliyah Boston is going to have a pretty good game, but under is going to be a strong look for me. Whether it's full game under, but it's probably going to be that Aces team total under. I really think the Fever bring the defense tonight. Can't Stop likes it. Appreciate you, brother. All right, let's hit the next one real quick. Sparks and Sun. This is another one that I've got some action. I got the over 167.5. I literally sat there yesterday and watched it at 166, and I'm like, this feels like way too low for these two teams. And I just sat there and stared at it and didn't do anything with it. And then I woke up this morning, it was 167.5. So I just went on ahead and I grabbed it. Now it's up to 169.5. I mean, neither of these teams really play defense like that. So I just expect this game to go over. Once again, we can go back to Money Baller and we can just look at the totals, especially in Sparks games. Especially in Sparks games. I mean, if you just look down these totals on these Sparks games recently, um, in Washington, the total was 167 and a half. That flies over. Um, Total here, I mean, that was 165 against Washington, before the break. That flies over. You look here at Connecticut, that flies over. And these totals, they're really not adjusting a ton. I mean, obviously it went up here but it opened at 166 and a half, just where all of these others were. Even Minnesota, I mean, that goes over. So the Sparks are just an over team. I grabbed it at 167 and a half. It's right now, it's at 169. I almost couldn't even fault you there, but it's moved three points. So that's the look that I have on that game. The last one, let me stop sharing my screen here. So the last one, Storm and Sky. This one is moved quite a bit from its opening line of it was at 9.5 for a second, and then news started coming through of Ariel Atkins being out, Angel Reese, being out. Are you talking? Can't stop. Are you talking about over on this one or the Fever game or the Oh, you talking about the Sparks game? Sparks game. Yeah, it's an excellent look, bro. I think that over. I think that game goes 175 at least. But yeah, so Storm and Sky. So this line has moved quite a bit, with Angel Reese on the injury report and Ariel Atkins being out. I really think I really didn't want to touch this game, but I do think that Angel Reese will, even if she's in or out, I just feel like the Storm, after getting their asses kicked like they did a couple nights ago, I feel like they've got to come out and just kind of reestablish themselves offensively and defensively. Everything about that was bad. I know the Storm, I put them on my no bet list for like 3 days, but I feel like this is the spot where they really get right. So I like the Storm first half -5.5. I took that on MGM. I'm not sure if that number's moved if it's moved it at all. I got the -5.5 when the spread was -10.5. So it looks like it's moved up to 11. So that's probably might be gone. It might be up to 6 at this point. But I just think the Storm come out and I think the Storm just come out and exert a little bit of dominance. And if you've seen the Sky without Atkins and Reese, look at last week. They scored 49 points against the Dream. And then another game, I think, without Atkins, I think Reese played, they still couldn't even get into the 70s. So they definitely struggle. They struggle anyway, but they definitely struggle without Angel Reese or without both. Can't stop. Does Mabry coming back bother you with the Suns scoring, especially since she hasn't played in a month? I thought about that, but they're so bad offensively. Anything helps, right? I don't know. I just feel like it's not like what's she gonna disrupt? It's not been working anyway, so it might be some rust though. I think it might be a little bit of rust. That would be my thought process, but yeah, I think if she was coming back, like she's coming back to a shit show. So, oh no, man. Let's get best bet. So I would give you this over. But like I said, that number's going at 167. But I actually really like this Storm first half -5.5. Like I said, you probably can't get that, but I know there's some sixes out there. I know Caesars had six. Some other books had six. I mean, the worst if it ends up six, you get a push. So I still like it at six. I think the Storm come out. They come out early. They come out often, and they just really, kind of try to correct, the mistakes and things that pretty much, got them beat really bad the other night. So make sure like, subscribe. Get in the chat afterwards. I feel like I need to do something with the chat. Hold on. Can't stop. What about Sky Team total under? I couldn't even be mad at that. I just think the number's so comically low. Like, I just don't play it. But they can't do anything without either one of Ariel Atkins or Angel Reese. But if it's both of them, they are doomed. Like, it's bad. And then you got a team like the Storm coming in here pissed off because they just got beat by another, lower tier team. So I couldn't talk you off. I just think it's so hilariously low that I just can't mess with it. So appreciate you, bro. We'll have you on the next one. I think we're going to be back on Sunday. There's a big slate Sunday. Until then, I'm going to look at the slate tomorrow. I got a few plays I like tomorrow. So I may be back on tomorrow, but until then, enjoy your evening, and let's cash some bets. And John Witherspoon is going to take us out of here. Peace.
If you're broke, try to have a nice day. If you're fat, try to have a nice day. If you're skinny, try to have a nice day. If you got a big head, try to have a nice day. If your mama's ugly, try to have a nice day. If your daddy whoop your ass, try to have a nice day. If a dog bites you in the ass, bite him back and try to have a nice day. Try to have a nice day. See, that's my theme. Try to have a nice day. I'm about to leave right now and go try to have me a nice day. All right. Try to have a nice day.